Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Umbras, and today we are back in Enthusia Professional Racing, where we get to drive the wonderful RX-7 Spirit, or the FD3S RX-7. This thing, an absolute beaut of a machine, limited to just barely over 1,500 units, and was only produced for only a couple months in the mid-2002. And it was a beautiful, beautiful car. Yeah, I apologize for being a little bit late. I apologize for being just a little bit late today. I had to get a few things sorted. Was running a little bit behind, but we're all good now. Oh no, it wasn't OBS. This was genuinely just me being a bit late. I was working on a few things upstairs and everything. I needed to get sorted. So just a couple minutes late. Not super major. So we're all good. Anyway, we have our rotary powered monster here. And a monster it is, producing the gentleman's agreement, 276 horsepower at 6.5 thousand RPMs. Absolutely gorgeous. Wonderful styling in it. It's dark metallic blue with the red interior, and it's leather-bound Acaro seats. I'm happy with my Rosalina 10 passenger on. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You've been getting better, man. So good stuff on that front. Very nice. So what's next that you're planning on drawing, if I may ask? Or are you taking a little bit of a break, or are you looking for any ideas? Hello, kitty. The kitty is now with us as well. We now have a feline co-driver. There we go. Nice and smooth through here. Little bit of understeer there, but otherwise we are good. But we will keep pushing, and push we shall. This thing is absolutely beautiful as well. This is the ultimate RX-7, combining all the best features from all the different previous editions, plus even more upgrades on top of that. I'm gonna take a little break and I'll think of my next vehicle. I'm still leaning more towards the SVT Ford Focus, the first generation SVT Focus. Kind of gets you a chance to draw a more rounded vehicle, but still have it with semi-simple lines, and it keeps it, within like the Ford family as well. As you've mainly driven a lot of like drawn a lot of like the Mustangs and stuff. Being able to do like one of the Focuses could be a cool option too. Or if not the SVT Focus, maybe the Celine Focus could be a cool option. I don't know, you got a couple different options for the first generation Focus actually. You got the SVT, you got the FR 200, which is with its extreme body kits and everything, and you got the Celine Focus with a more more kind of mild body kits. So I got a couple different options on that one. We went way off track there. Oopsie daisies. Gotta remember, I gotta brake a little bit earlier. The brakes on this aren't exactly the best as of right now, so I need to make sure that we are A-okay, all good. But yeah, no, definitely take a break, It's all good and everything. You've been on a roll with a lot of the drawings and everything like that. you know, at least one every like 2-ish weeks, something like that. So, you know, could be something cool. Get a little bit of rest. Ooh, little bit wide. Little bit of the rear kicking out. Gotta get reacquainted with the handling of Enthusia and this RX-7. It's been a little bit since I played this game. I was away over an extended weekend, visiting friends and everything. But it is oh so good to be back. It is absolutely amazing to be back home and everything, having home cooked meals, being able to, you know, kind of enjoy myself and all of that. Don't be wrong, I enjoy myself with my friends as well. Like that was absolutely awesome. Getting to see all kinds of vintage racing. And then my wife and I on Monday we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, which actually wasn't that far away from where the Cleveland Grand Prix used to be held at that airport there, right along the Great Lakes. New little friendly 2004 Ford Mustang for Underground 2. Yeah, see now you have 2 different Mustangs available in Underground 2 as well, which is pretty cool, honestly. Having, you know, more kind of lore friendly muscle cars that still fits, you know, the street culture vibe of the era. Like that is pretty awesome. I would honestly though, the big thing for me is I would love for them to add more lore friendly like SUVs. Cause like outside of the one Infinity they added, they haven't really added too much else. So it'd be cool for them to add some other options. When did the Porsche Cayenne come out? Cause that would have been an interesting one to add as like a later game SUV. Especially since they already have a lore-friendly Porsche mod for that game. Having another one for like the SUV would be an interesting one. What else could I do for like the SUVs? That'd be tough. Yeah, all the JDM legends here. Evos, Skylines, NSXs, and of course our RX-7. This is gonna be a fun one. We get to absolutely push this 1.3 liter twin turbo rotary engine to its limits. 0 to 60 in roughly around 5.2 seconds. Very quick off the line. And as we get this thing leveled up even further, it is going to be even quicker. I gotta be a little bit careful. Kind of sneaking away through all kinds of 280 horsepower cars. So we need to sneak away through and use the superior handling of our RX-7 to really get what we need done. Eastern Underground 2 does have the Porsche Cayenne engine. Really? So it probably could have actually been used, or was like left on the cutting room floor then. Cause that was always one vehicle I thought would have like really worked well in that game. Especially since EA had the Porsche exclusivity deals at the time. Like having like the SUV be like, you know, kind of like the top, like later game SUV and everything would have been a pretty cool option. And would have contrasted nicely with things like the Hummers, the Lincoln Navigators, the Cadillac Escalades, that kind of stuff. There we go. Around the outside. Ooh, a Mercedes G-Wagon would have been pretty cool. Would be a pretty cool mod as well. As well as maybe like a Toyota Land Cruiser. Like those would be pretty solid SUV like mods as well. That would be pretty easy to make lore friendly, I think. You know, kind of going with the kind of like the bling style of the era and all of that. Ow, hi. we go. Up into the lead. Let's make sure we stay there. Little bit late on the brakes there. Gotta be a little bit careful there, Isaac. Thankfully, no off tracks, no mistakes. Cool thing about the Spirit R as well is that it does have the adjustable rear wing as well, from 1 degree to 14.5 degrees. So you can actually, you know, just actually set it up, which is really cool. Depending on what kind of conditions you'll be driving in. Very rarely you see like modern vehicles with adjustable wings. Even have the Ford Bronco and just, ooh, that wouldn't be a bad vehicle to add as well. Ford Bronco. That'd be pretty awesome actually. Adachi, welcome. Like the new profile picture, I think. It's hard to see it, but looks interesting. PC tripping. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not tripping too much. Oh boy. Alright. Gotta be a little bit careful here. Nice and smooth. Let's keep it going. Got 3 more laps to go at Autumn Hill. In our, oh, this thing absolutely beautiful. It looks so nice. I love my RX-7s. I love my FDs. I love my FCs. Bit of a shame that we're getting really close to having driven all of the RX-7s in this game, but it is what it is. I still love them. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Still we carry on. We might actually end up lapping some of these vehicles here. We are getting close. We got 2 laps to go, and we are closing in. If we don't lap them, we'll be very close to lapping them, being able to see them just cross the line before us, heading on to their final lap, while we go into ours. Oh, okay. That's a little bit rough. Just a little bit, but we're good. There we go. There we go. We are actually gonna lap them. We're lapping the Skyline. We're lapping the NSX. The NA1, the pre-facelift NSX. Welcome Midnight. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been well. We're coming on the final corner of race 2 of the night. In our Spirit R RX-7. This thing, absolute bliss to drive. Very consistent lap times, very smooth around the corners. This will be very nice. I'm gonna try and get the platinum in GT6 now that I have the copy to. Ooh, okay. What trophies do you have left? I imagine the Auto Barmy trophy, you know, travel all the distances of the Autobahns combined. That one takes forever. But what other trophies do you need? I will say that was probably one of the easier games to platinum outside of the grind for the Auto Barmy trophy. But it was still enjoyable. Alright, Skyline. Ooh. Nismo Sylvia. Impreza. Okay. Whole lot of Japanese cars. Let's do this. $200 and $300 stars. Shouldn't be too bad. Stars are fairly easy to get. You should be able to get that without even needing... Goodwood. Goodwood might be a little bit tricky. Mainly the Red Bull. Driving the Red Bull up Goodwood is going to be difficult if you're going for gold on that one. The rest of them aren't terrible. Oh, you just have to get bronze? Okay, yeah, bronze is pretty easy, actually. If you're getting gold, though, even getting gold is not terrible, and you get some really nice cars with that as well. Like, if you can get gold on the super license tests, you could probably get gold on most of the Goodwood time trials without too much difficulty. Just considering how short they are and how you really only have kind of 4 main corners to get. 111 meters per second. That's not terrible. Just buy a Red Bull. Or upgrade a Bugatti Veyron and take it to Route X. Either or. Not actually super difficult, just annoying that you gotta buy a vehicle specifically for that. Uh-oh. Alright, easy. I got gold in all the super license tests, but I did it without the other. Fair. Okay. Yeah. So, a little bit easy. So it might be a little bit more difficult for you, but like it's not terrible. Like the only two I had a significant amount of difficulty with for the time trial for Goodwood was the Red Bull. That one I remember taking me about an hour. And I was mostly just getting acquainted with how genuinely fucking twitchy the Red Bull is. And then the other one was the Mercedes GT3. 4 seconds easier without the updates. Oof. Yeah. Still, you know, it's over a fairly long track. You know, it's the Scari races or what. So you're not, yeah, not terrible. And the other one was again the Mercedes GT3, and that was mostly just because, for some reason, in Gran Turismo 6, especially in higher downforce cars, the grass just like sucks. The grass like sucks you in. 1500 cars, not terrible, just a little bit of a grind. Easy enough to get, especially if you focus on the Goodwood, getting the gold on the Goodwood, as well as doing like the Sierra Rally Time trial. You do like the Senna and the Red Bull stuff as well. That'll get you some good prize cars, and you'll naturally get some prize cars as well with the And you'll naturally get some prize cars once you begin getting more and more of the stars as well, getting all the stars in, you know, the different series. So, you know, you at least naturally get a couple of good cars there. Spend a lot of credits on upgrades. I forgot exactly how much you need for that one. But even that's not horrific. I remember getting that one fairly naturally in my time playing Gran Turismo 6. Oh, okay, the collisions is annoying. But there was a coffee break with that one where you got to knock over a certain amount of cones and everything. So that one you can just keep redoing, and that'll you can grind that up without too much difficulty, I think. Finish with 1% fuel remaining. I'm trying to remember how I did that one. I think that one, it was, I did it on one of the endurances. I think it was the endurance, the road going car endurance at Willow Springs. Oh, I forgot how to do that one. That one, I remember doing it on one of the Rome circuit races. But there are definitely options. There are definitely options. It's one of the Rome circuit races. I think it was maybe like the Italian car. I think it was the Italian car one because you can sometimes get like the little Fiat 500s there. But yeah. The twin turbochargers of the Legacy RSK. Very nice. Kind of a shame that once you had the Impreza STI, the kind of Legacy just kind of became like a regular mid-size sedan. No, Senna trophies do not count towards platinum. Senna trophies are DLC. Senna trophies are 100% DLC. Oh, big push. Whoops, let's not go off-road. Let's not go off-road there. It sounds so smooth though. We're just rocketing along at 160 some miles an hour. Only at 5 speed though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Also wait till I get the online mod installed and do the... Yeah, because the seasonal events, if the online mod lets you do the seasonal events, the seasonal events usually give out a lot of money as well. So you can use that to be, begin collecting more cars and everything. Get a good selection going. Especially since the seasonal events sometimes require other vehicles that are different than what you normally use in a regular career mode. Oh, the daily payouting. That's true too. That is true too. Because basically you can get it, what, up to double, I think? Up to double payouts, which is pretty nice. Ooh, we do have the Nürburgring Enduro. The downside is we literally just raced on the Nürburgring. Let's do the real sports car race at Pacific Gateway. This would be fun. It's crazy as well with the Spirit RX-7s, is that some of them now are going for over Over $200,000 at auction price. Like, that is crazy just how pricey these are. I mean, it makes sense, you know, only 1,500 were made. 1,504 to be exact, but yeah, still absolutely beautiful machines. There we go. There we go. Oh, I love the turbo blow off valve sound as well as you know upgrade the cars. Just so cool. This makes it sound even more aggressive. NASCAR Racer Mateki. True. That one's a good one. The 24 minutes of the Nordschleife is pretty good as well. Get any like four-wheel drive touring car, like any of the Nissan Skyline touring cars. Make sure you have wet weather tires, and those can do it pretty easily, as the AI is pretty slow in the wet. And you just get the vibe around the Nordschleife at night as well, which is absolutely awesome. And that is true, it is on Nords. But like for 30 minutes, it's like $500-some thousand. Something like that, if I remember correctly. I don't know, I remember doing that a lot anyway, because there wasn't too many good racing events to, you know, use some of the four-wheel drive cars. So I like driving them there. I know I regularly did a lot like the GT3 roughly paced endurance events. Things like the Apricot Hill one. The Apricot Hill one was pretty fun. Yeah, racing in Nords is a little bit of a pain. I know I'm gonna be racing one. I've got a flooded Nordschleife race coming up very soon this Sunday, so that is going to be absolutely lovely. I'm going to be in the GT4 class, and I'm going to be missing qualifying as well, so I'm going to be starting way out in the back. Unless I can get home soon. I might be able to get home sooner and be able to start quali, but we will see. We will see. I personally don't like racing on it that much. Like, in GT4s and slower, it's okay-ish, it's tolerable. But anything faster than that, and it's just not that great. Too much dirty air, too narrow, way too much elevation change. And the laps are way too long to really, you know, see where you're actually quicker than an opponent lap after lap to make a move done. Like, of the tracks that have like a significant 24-hour endurance race, Daytona, Lassard, Spa, and the Nürburgring. The Nürburgring probably is my least favorite. Daytona probably amongst my favorite. I actually quite like racing at Daytona. The road course. Like, I actually really like the circuit experience with the Ford GT and Gran Turismo 7 at Daytona. That was a pretty fun one. You gotta move the brake bias way forwards to not get the ass end of the car to step out for the first turn. But other than that, you're fine. Not Daytona, it's the only major track I've been. Ooh. Yeah, Daytona is a pretty fun one. It's been a while since I've been there. Recently, I've been doing more of kind of like the Mid-Atlantic and Northern, the East Coast races. You know, Watkins Glen, heading up the pit race. I'm gonna be going to later in the fall. I'm gonna be going to Jersey Motorsports Park in New Jersey for the Moto America race there. So I'm hyped for that, getting to see the motorcycles. Never been to a race. Oh, definitely recommend trying to get either the Daytona 200, it's a motorcycle race, or like the INSA, the 24 hours. Both are really, really great. Let's do the Star Festival. Yeah, we got a good chance with this one. Plus, we don't often get a chance to race at Rev City, so let's do it. Went to the winner circle, went up the bank. Yeah, the banking. You don't realize how steep it is when you're driving on it in like The Sims or like any other racing games or whatever. Or when you see pictures. When you try to like actually walk up the banking, like holy moly, it's got a steep ass grade. It is very, very steep. What's even crazier is Talladega's got an even steeper banking. Both of Chile got an earthquake. Oh, jeez. Hope everyone's alright. That is a little bit worryingly high. Damn. Hope everyone's alright. Man, earthquakes scare the crap out of me. Like, I live East Coast, so we don't really get earthquakes that much. But we get, like, hurricanes and stuff. But you at least get, like, a decent amount of early warning for, like, hurricanes. So you can either, like, evacuate or, like, you know, get prepared and everything like that. But, like, earthquakes, you can kind of vaguely get an idea of, like, roughly when it'd be happening. But, like, yeah, it's still scary. Well, Santiago's kind of further south, right? So, 5.9, if it's way up north, it'll probably be, you know, you may not have even, like, felt anything. Or it'll probably been, like, negligible where you are. As the force of an earthquake exponentially decreases the further away you get from the epicenter. So, with the 5.9, it's already, like, it's still, you know, significant enough to cause some potential structural damage and everything in, you know, that localized region where it happened. But, like, if you're further away and everything, you may not have even felt it. Like, I remember back when I was in high school, the earthquake that hit DC was like 4.9. And I'm like up in Maryland and stuff, and here it was probably like only like a 2 or 3, like enough that like kind of like you can feel it a little bit, but like literally like not even like the pictures fell over or anything like that. Like it basically felt like someone was running down the hall. Oh, that's way too wide. That's way too hot going into that corner. Bad Isaac, bad Isaac. Oops, a little bit of a slide. Just a little bit. Gotta be a little bit careful there. Oh, okay. Hi there. I gotta get used to the car again. Nice. Blue car is first and second. We're blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. I gotta be a little bit careful here. There we go. There we go. Back again to the left. This thing is just, it feels like a forged blade cutting through butter. Like it is very agile. And I'm being a little bit sloppy with it, but like it genuinely feels really nice going through the corners and everything. Gotta be a little bit careful. There we go. Alright, 3 more laps to go. We were steadily racking up the miles on our car. We were steadily pushing further and further. And holy moly, this thing, absolutely gorgeous. One of these urban streets. The beautiful cherry blossoms at certain sections, contrasting with the high-rise skyscrapers. Oh, this is gonna feel like a, oh gosh. Let's not get on a steer there. Let's not get any more on this steer. Let's keep it off for the walls. There we go, good stuff, good stuff. Through the chicane. Alright, absolute full send. 2 more laps to go. That's probably a little bit quicker through the corners, I think. Oh, this does set us up absolutely wrong for the next one. So maybe not the best line there. But let's see if we can do a lap without us touching the walls. Maybe not. That is fine. We got 1 more lap to try to get a quicker lap in. And a quicker lap we will get. A quicker lap we will get. There we go. Alright, running out a little bit wider so we can get a later apex here. Back to the left. Okay, we go much smoother through there. Able to get a much better line. Yeah, this feels quick. Can I actually get it into the 106s? Not cleanly, unfortunately. That was a little bit of a tap there. It's another tap. We are on track to lap someone else though, so this would be good. This would be very good. Big push now. Ah, 107.2. Big rip. Big rip. Big rip there. There we go. More. Alright, there we go. It's been lightened. It has been lightened. And our ranking has improved as well. Now, compared to the FCRX7, the 13B REW of the FD, especially the Spirit R, had a few extra upgrades to get it from the 212 and the most powerful of the FCRX7s versus the 276 of the higher powered FDRX7s. Interesting, Lake Louise. I'm not a big fan of the oval. I do like the fact that there's finally a snow course. Graphically, it looks gorgeous. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to race on, but like not majorly. If you know how, it's worse if you're driving an automatic, but manual-wise, you can use a lot of like the shifting and everything to kind of control your slide, and basically either get yourself extra traction out of the corners, or kind of force yourself into more of a slide and everything. So in that front, it is better. The Master S license there, as well as the circuit experience, wasn't the most annoying to gold, but it was still a little bit of getting used to, especially when figuring out you had to ride super high on the banking, but like not touch the wall in order to get a really good time to that first corner. And figuring out exactly how to do that without, like, touching the wall enough to trigger a fail. But, like, the middle sector isn't too bad. And the twisty double hairpin at the end is actually kind of fun. I don't like the whatchamacallit, the oval course, though. The oval course is kind of shit. I say kind of. It is very shit. But the actual, like, you know, the other one, the one that's a little got more corners and everything, that one I actually quite like. It's a unique experience, and I hope they add more like races to that and other off-road courses. And either later updates or Gran Turismo 8. Like, they have a lot of already stuff that you can like work with and everything like that. To be cool to see them, you know, actually, you know, do something with all the content they have. Make meaningful, like, structured content out of the toy box. Because they got a lot of toys in the toy box that just kind of go unused or underused. And having that structure would really give exactly what you need. At least for me, I like having that kind of structured events and everything. What about you? What's your thoughts on Lake Louise? The first snow course in a very long time in the Gran Turismo franchise. Oh, one other thing I will say, I do like how it lights up at night. That is a genuinely cool feature, and very kind of reminiscent of like Kart Space in the PS3 era Gran Turismo games. It adds a little bit of extra oomph to the nighttime vibes of that course. But what was this thing with regards to? Oh yeah, the added horsepower. So it uses a more refined turbo system, where the more refined sequential twin turbo system, Whereas the FC is using more kind of simplistic twin turbo system. I was able to run at a higher boost pressure as well, at 10.7 psi, versus the 8 to 9 psi of the FCs, which allows, you know, more air into the combustion chamber. Therefore, you can add more fuel, bigger boom, and then it further refines the rotor and housing design with improved materials to improve the combustion efficiency, as well as the durability under the higher boost pressures, which is very, very nice. Alongside more advanced fuel delivery and electronic systems, and you're able to go from the 212 of the FCs to the 276s of the FDs. What is with the roundabout to understeer there? I thought second gear would be the way to do it. I gotta make sure, like, I'm not gonna really have to worry about torque oversteer, because the rotary is pretty smooth, so it's not like I'm gonna, you know, snap the rears out too much, unless I'm actively trying to get, you know, a little bit of sidestepping. So I don't know why I keep going in one gear too high. That's killing my rotation, I think. Man, I gotta practice Nords tonight. I gotta practice Spa as well. I got 2 races this weekend. The finales in 2 different championships I'm a part of. I got Spa Saturday, the Trek GT3 championship, where if I do well enough, I could probably finish. It'll be close, but I'll either be finishing 4th or 5th in the championship. It's pretty tight. Out of like the 16 or 17 pro class drivers, I'll be like 4th or 5th, just off the podium, but not bad. And then the GTM championship, I've got, as long as I finish, I've got 2nd place secured in that one. That's the GT2 and GT4 multi-class championship, and that's the one that's going to be on the wet Nordschleife. And I'll be, as long as I can finish within the points, I'll be getting 2nd in the GT4 class. 1st place is kind of consistently smoked me. Yeah. There we go. Give us the upgrade. Yes, grippier boys. Alright, final race. Oof. Alright, yeah, ranking's not doing too good. That's alright, that's okay. We will be fine. We'll stay well within the range for our being able to do the RS events. What's also really cool is the ECU with this versus the ECU at the FC generation RX-7 is that this is a 16-bit processing capability ECU, while the FC is only an 8-bit processing. So this is a nice little fun fact about the 2 cars. Even the processing power, the engine management systems is vastly different. Whoop, around the outside. 2 trailer park girls go around the outside of the dour Bugatti EB110. Oh, hey, buddy. Okay. That's a little bit of moving under braking there. I'm not particularly fond of that. I'm gonna dive down to the inside here. Alright, there we go. Into the hairpin. Oh, Nelly. A little bit spicy there. Little bit spicy there. You gotta be careful as well. The car, with being fairly light and powerful, you do run the risk of it actually catching air on some of the elevation changes. So you gotta be a little bit cautious. There we go. Come on, use the power of the Rotary. Let's try to get a first place finish at the Arc de Triomphe anniversary. Oh boy. Alright. The sheer amount of width changes on the track, though, it does make it very tricky. It goes from multiple lanes wide to barely wide enough for two. Welcome, Reggie. Hope you're well. Yes, today's car fact. What is today's car fact? Yeah, despite that though, the first generation Viper is still amongst my favorites. It's got the beautiful T-top styling. It just, I don't know, it looks so cool. Like, yes, it might not be the most aerodynamically efficient. Yes, it might be the most likely to try to kill me. Yes, it may be, you know, the least powerful of the Vipers. Yes, it may have some fit and finish issues. I don't care. It's still my favorite Viper. I love the RT10. That thing is absolutely amazing, and it's a damn shame that outside of the first two Gran Turismos, the RT10 has not shown up in any other Gran Turismo game yet. I still await its return. I'd love to see. I would genuinely love to see them add the RT10. That we can have more like Viper 1 make races. I think that would be pretty cool. Oh boy. Okay, gotta be a little bit careful. There we go. There. Ooh boy. There we go. Two, three, four, five. Boop. Nice. There we go. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. This thing is absolutely gorgeous in the handling. Wonderful turning. Wonderful smoothness of power delivery. And the fact that we're this far ahead of the EB110 as well is absolutely ridiculous. I was not expecting that. Yet here we are. Here we are. It's not even the Bugatti that's in second place either. It's an Evo. Japanese car 1-2. Nice and gentle. Ooh. Be a little bit cautious. Alright, only 2 more laps to go. We are putting in the work, we are putting in the grind, we are putting in the distance. Let's make sure we drink the champagne at the end of this French street circuit race. You know, I've never actually had champagne. I've had regular wine, but I've never actually had like champagne. I might try some sometime. Come on. Come on. Come on. Around the turn. There we go. Nice. Very, very nice. Come on. Not much further. About a lap and a half now. As we are laying down the rubber, putting it down a distance. Oh boy. Okay. We're good. We are good. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Very good. Alright, so let's keep it going. Back again to the right. And some more to the left. On our final lap, the white flag is flying. And it's not a French surrender, it is just because it is the final lap. Let's make it a very quick lap as well. A lap time, not exactly the quickest that final lap. So let's go a little bit. Let's try to go a little bit quicker. Just a little bit quicker would be the way to do this, if we can anyway. I think we can. Ooh, ooh. Save it, save it, save it, save it, save it, save it. My word. Alright, we are good. The car got just a little bit squirrely there. But we're still rocking. We are kicking like a chicken. And we got a new fastest lap as well right at the end there. Holy mother of mothers. Bam. Alright. That is good. Level this up to level 10. Spray the champagne on the podium. As we have completed our FD, our X7. Our rankings even increased just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. It is going to decrease just a little bit though, as we switch from a real sports back to a sporty car. And we will see exactly what options we got here. We got 5 options. So let's pull up our random number generator. If it is a 1, it'll be the Sylvia Spec R. If it is a 5, it'll be the RX-8. So let's pull up the display capture. 1 to 5. It is a 1. Alright. So that means we are going to be driving the S15 Sylvia spec car. Yeah. This thing, absolutely lovely. Oh, so many good options as well. I personally like the brilliant blue titanium pearl. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, I know our ranking decreased just a little bit. And we are teetering on the edge of the not being able to do RS events. So we gotta be a little bit cautious here. Slight towards acceleration. But let's see what we can do with this Blacktop SR20. Ooh, we got the Speedy Apples ring. We do got Tsukuba as well. Tsukuba would be a very solid way to do this. Although the two R-tunes might make it a little bit tricky. So the Japanese car limited race instead then. Nissan. Yeah, 2 Nissans, 1 Subaru, 2 Rotaries, and a Toyota. Let's do this. It's 247 horsepower. Wonderful little inline 4. 0 to 60 in roughly 5.5 to 6 seconds. Somewhere in that range, depending on testing conditions. A little bit of a range, depending on how well the tires grip up as well. I'm gonna average it out to around like 5.7. 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. Oh boy. Come on. Okay. 3 wide and that was never gonna work. If we could stop making it 3 wide, I'd appreciate that. Alright, I need to make some ground now. If I can stop being touched by the Z, I am literally as far inside as I can get without being off the road. Nissan drivers, am I right? Alright, we got lots of laps to make up ground now. Hopefully the Z and the RX-8 cause a little bit of trouble with each other. We're about equal in power with the RX-8, the Renesas 2-rotor engine, naturally aspirated, about 250 horsepower. And again, they're still running too wide in multiple stages, making it very annoying trying to get past. I'm gonna follow the Nissan. Alright, Nissan managed to get up into the lead. With MR2 is being just a little bit annoying as that killed a lot of the momentum. We back down to 4th. All these vehicles being roughly equal in power does make getting by them a little bit tricky. There we go, up in the 2nd at least. We can get that situated. They can fight over the scraps of the final podium spot. I wanna get up there with the Z. We are lighter. And the Z doesn't have that much more power, so if we can carry more speed through the chicane, just like we did, we'll have the inside line. We'll have the inside line here. But it will have the power advantage heading to the line, starting the 4th lap. He will have to brake earlier though. So if we can get the speed through these corners and maintain a momentum better, which will, if we have clear air, will be very easy to do. And I think we can get this knocked out, and we can get a solid lead going Come on, let's do this. There we go. Alright, 3 to go. Up into the lead. New fastest lap as well, 48.5. Not bad at all, actually. Ooh, not the best line through there. Gotta get off the throttle just a little bit to get it rotated. Alright, there we go, there we go, there we go. Big push now. Alright, 2 to go. 2 more laps. Very, very nice. Very smooth. There we go. Oh, this is lovely. Absolutely lovely. Ooh, okay. Little bit spicy through there. Not too bad though. Not bad at all. So we just gotta keep it going. Looks like we are gonna be lapping someone. So we gotta be a little bit cautious. Go. Nice and smooth, nice and beautiful through all these corners. This is how we do it. And that is the legacy wagon. Yeah, the lightweight Nissan versus the heavier weight Subaru. Stuck down on the inside. There we go. Absolutely wonderful. Put a little bit of a buffer between ourselves and second place as well. Boom, almost. Damn, my back. Ooh. Hopefully back feels better. Hopefully back feels better, man. Ah, yeah, the early race constant RG barging really didn't help us. So we didn't get any upgrades there. Big oof. But that is alright. This thing is still pretty solid handling wise. Right from the get-go. Fairly lightweight. Only around 1,200 kilograms. Lighter than the Honda S2000. And it comes naturally with a helical limited slip differential. So you get a lot more traction out of the corners compared to the viscous LSD on other older Silvias. So this thing is quite quick. We do have an S14 just ahead of us as well, so we get to see the performance right from the get-go. And already we're having a big push. As although the order Big Brother Skyline is very rapid on the straights, we do have the maneuverability that'll make us a threat on any track. There we go. We should probably go down in a second gear. Although the inline-4 is a little bit torquier than the Rotary we were just in, so the rear might try to kick out just a little bit, but we just got the more advanced suspension to really handle, you know, the tight technical nature of this track. So I'm not too worried. I'm not worried at all. I want to brake just at the Dunlop Bridge. Yeah, I think third gear is probably better for the S's here before we head to the front paw. Brake just before the 50-meter board. Down in a second gear. We don't want to be in first gear because we do not want to absolutely kick out the rears if we can help it. There we go. There we go. Ooh, okay. Little bit of a kick out there. We are good. Oh, this thing, it is handling lovely. Just absolutely beautiful through the corners. Great grip, amazing traction. Don't gotta worry about a thing. So much traction, but just the right amount of rotation is what to keep you, you know, keep it lively. That's what I like out of a vehicle. Just a little bit of that softness that really allows you to push. Get a little bit of curb there. A little bit of curb on exit as well. Ooh, okay, took a little bit more than just curb. We took a little bit more than just curb there. Little bit of dirt as well. Kick up a little bit of dirt. Alright. First lap done. 6th gear, here we go. Get close to that 140, 150 mile an hour top speed roughly. Yeah, 6th gear seems to be more of like an overdrive gear. Not really something that we'd be using all that much. So I may try to shorten the gear ratio even more to make better use of that 6th gear. Because hey, if we're gonna carry that 6th gear, we may as well use that 6th gear. So that might be worthwhile. Back again to the left. Nice and smooth. There we go. There we go. Whoops. Really likes to kick out just the tiniest bit. But we're still putting the distance on the big brother Skyline Senpai. Yeah. Nissan 1-2. This is great. Manufacturer locking out the top 2 steps of the podium. Absolutely killer. Absolutely killer. Not too much further, not too much further. And we'll begin to have our first upgrades available on our little Sylvia. Oh, and what a beautiful Sylvia it is as well, that pearl blue. Absolutely gorgeous. It may not be the Varietta Sylvia, but I love that color. I love that color on the Sylvias. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gotta be a little bit careful there. Back again to the left. Whew. Alrighty. Come on, full send to the finish line. Nice. You know, what's cool is the S15 is now finally eligible to be imported to the United States due to the 25-year rule. I've not seen one yet. I've seen my share of JDM S13 and S14s, but I have not seen JDM S15 yet. I'm very much looking forward to seeing some very soon, because holy moly, they look absolutely gorgeous, and I want to see more. I mean, it's a JDM icon. It's got the beautiful balanced chassis, you know, the lightweight rear drive dynamics, the tuning potential, and everything. It is, you know, absolutely amazing. So I would love to see some. I've seen my fair share of pretty heavily modified S13 and S14s in, like, you know, local drift competitions and all that stuff, autocross, everything there. But it is still really cool. It'd still be really cool to see an S15 as well. Ooh, that is a dive and a half. That is a dive and a half from the TVR there. Holy moly. Damn. All right. Gotta be a little bit careful there. Dang, he's overdriving into every single corner there. That is going to result in a lot of time lost, but it is also going to make it very difficult to race against him. Still, we push on. Let's try to set a good lap at Tsukuba. See if we can't finish up on the podium, and if we can't give these two a good fight. Oh, he's alongside. They're going at it. They are very much going at it. Ooh, big hit there. I'm not sure that'll work. Alright, he's swinging around everywhere. Ooh, that is almost a T-bone there. Very aggressive from the TVR. I'm not sure how well that'll work. Swords got to give them a big penalty, right? If only, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to see the AI get penalized for, like, their mistakes as well. He's still trying. The thing is, the Evo and the TVR are fairly equal on pace with the Evo in front. So we will see how much that the Evo is able to hang on and defend against the TVR. I know it's basically allowing me to keep up with him when in all honesty, I really shouldn't. Ooh. Dang. The downside though is with them fighting for it, it makes it very difficult. It is easy for me to catch up, but it is so much more difficult to actually make an overtake stick. Although it looks like the TVR finally got ahead, so it'll be interesting to see if the Evo does anything silly here. Because the Evo's got the forward drive acceleration out of these corners, so it might be able to make a comeback here. If not, I might be able to put a good fight with the Evo instead and get a nice second place. You don't need a break there though, you dingus. There we go. Up in a second. Alright, let's see if we can defend from the Evo. It does have that massive acceleration out of the hairpins. Which is going to make it a bit tricky. Yeah, it's going to make it a little bit tricky to get by and hold position against. But we do have the lightweight agility. So we might be able to make something work. But it'll be tough. We're down to 2 laps to go. So it is going to be a little bit tricky. Oh, a little bit of a bonk. I'm going to run her out wide so I get the inside line for the next corner. Okay, a little bit of a twitch there. But I think this works. Maybe. He is going to be alongside us. For the high-speed right-hander. Just barely chopped his nose off. Got us just a little bit loose. But we are good. We are golden. Alright, let's keep pushing now. Yeah, the TBR with us fighting managed to pull a massive gap. So it is gonna be interesting to see what we're able to do against the Evo. Welcome down here, hope you're well. Right now we're in the S15 Sylvia spec car. Roughly 247-ish to 250 horsepower. Little in line for the beautiful blacktop SR20. And this thing, absolutely lovely. Big power. I mean, you know, for a 2-liter, pretty big power. Lightweight agility. It's got the helical luminescent differential. Very, very nice through the corners. Like this is a great vehicle. Yeah, the SR20 DET. Shortened to SR20, but yeah. Alright. No upgrades? Really? Shouldn't have the Aero version. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did have the Nismo version. So that at least helped out a little bit. But yeah. Bit of a shame that it didn't come with the Aero. But we still got the beautiful, you know, it still looks good without it as well. Alright, we're going to be starting a little bit further ahead in the Road Regatta Championship at Marco Strada. This beautiful Venetian street circuit with its cobble paved tracks and the tight corners, as well as the chicane of death, the yeet chicane that separates man from AI. As we use this to punch well above our vehicle's weight. And I just genuinely love the look of the track as well. Yeah, Marco Strada's theme is absolutely amazing. Both the dry daytime and the wet nighttime ones are absolutely amazing. Honestly, given the fact that the music isn't really copyright, or at least doesn't really get copyright claims, I probably could turn the music back on, but there are some tracks where I don't really like the theme songs all that much. Mainly Pacific Gateway, as well as, I mean, honestly, Pacific Gateway is probably the worst one. Just the constant kind of similar chords on the guitar over and over again get a little bit redundant. Outside that one, like, it's not too bad. Like, I really like the Blots Out the Sun, I think it is, the Bergenschlucht one. And I like the Nürburgring theme as well. I think that's what, like, Awakening or something like that. Both of those are genuinely really good. And then of course, the Low-End Steering theme song is also really good. Some are just okay. Like Rev City is alright. I'm not the biggest fan of Tsukuba's either. That one. Not the biggest fan of that one. Still better than whatever the Pacific Gateway theme is, but not by much. It's weird that I even remember the themes, despite not having really listened to them all that recently. But yeah, Awakening and Blots of Sun are my two favorites of the Enthusia themes. Outside of, you know, the theme song for, like, the intro movie, the theme of Enthusia. That one is just peak. That one I do listen to actually regularly in my free time. Like that one is really good. Especially when you actually have like the intro cutscene as well, and you hear like all the like the engines and everything. Although it's a very trippy cutscene as well, because like, does the driver of the Mini Cooper actually like die? Oof. How? Yes, that one. That one is just absolute peak. There's an extended version on YouTube somewhere that I have on the playlist for when I'm doing like my sim racing practice and everything, and that one is just absolute peak. But yeah, Marco Strada's got a good theme. Is it like called Eternal Wanderer, I think? Whatever the one for Mirage Crossing. That one is also really good. It really sells the desert theme. They did a really good job with that one. Lost Child. That one. Yes. That one is good as well. Why did I think of Eternal Water? I mean, I guess similar theme, but like, yeah, different title. That one is good. That one is really good. Like, it sounds deserty without sounding like obnoxiously stereotypical deserty either. Like, it really kind of feels like, you know, you're going on like a rally raid expedition type of thing. Like, I'm thinking Snowcap Thunder. I might have gotten like two of them kind of like conflated. Snowcap Wanderer, is that the one for Winter Trom? Yes, okay. So yeah, I did get the two conflated. Whoopsie daisies. Still really good. I don't remember Snowcap Wanderer all that much. I'm out there to listen to that one. Went Through Trom is just one of those tracks where it is I don't really drive that often unless you're like in a forward drive car. Ah, yeah, monochrome roulette. Love the music of Rita La Seine. But as far as the actual like track goes, it is by far my least favorite in Enthusia. The track with variations, as well as the loop of understeered death, are just not particularly fun to drive on or actually race on. Yeah, the theme is genuinely really good. And it really, especially with the accordion and everything, really makes it feel, you know, French and all that. But my word, like don't get me wrong, most of the tracks in Enthusia, really good. Like, Bergenschlicht, absolutely amazing. Mirage Crossing, gorgeous. Mystic Caveway, top notch. Rev City, a blast. Lowen Searing, one of my favorite tracks of all time. To the point where I'm genuinely sad I have not come across a AC mod for that track. But dear lord, they did create a stinker with Route de la Seine. Yeah, Under a Blue Sky. Yeah, that one is really good. Again, it kind of gives it that kind of like Mediterranean, European feel, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It really fits with the beauty of the city as well. Gosh, I would love a revival of Enthusia professional racing. Like we got it with Tokyo Extreme Racer. Like imagine like a Simcade on PC being released for like Enthusia. That'd be so much fun. I would be absolutely thrilled to see something like that. You know, really give this series another shake. Because it's genuinely really good. It's just a shame that, you know, Gran Turismo 4 came out a little bit earlier than it did and kind of overshadowed it. They were absolutely cooking with the track, exactly. Like, you have so many different corner variations as well. Hairpins, sweepers, banked corners. You have the jets flying over as well, the different colored smoke trails. You had, you know, like, it feels like, you know, like the top track to race on. Only downside is the AI can't really handle the bank corner that much, so the AI is a bit of a pushover on that track compared to other tracks. Same with Marco Strata, they can't handle chicanes all that well. The AI's brain basically breaks on banked corners and chicanes. But everywhere else, you know, the AI puts up a decent fight actually. With itself and with other... and against you as well. There we go. Give us some upgrades. Time to upgrade the blacktop. There we go. Very, very nice. There's our ranking points as well. Have you played any of the Project Gotham racing series? I have not, but I do want to. I do want to. I was mainly a PlayStation person growing up, so I never really got a chance to do a lot of like the Xbox racing games. But I've heard a lot of really good things about the Project Gotham racing series, so I would love to give that a shot. I would love to genuinely give that a shot. Project Gotham Racing 4, the peak car sounds. Yeah, I've heard like a lot of the different Project Gotham Racing games have like really cool stuff, depending on different like car classes and everything. The different cities they race in and all that. Like, it is super cool. Oh boy. Alright, gotta be a little bit careful. Gotta be just a little bit careful. Somebody sounds through the car is identifiable. Oh, okay, that is actually really cool. So you can need like different cars with different blow-up valve sounds and everything. That is actually badass. Okay, that's not great. Little bit of a twitch there cost us some time. We gotta really push now though. Alright, up alongside. Come on, let's get past the Mercedes. We're lighter, we're more agile. Next up, the Pantera with its powerful 351 Ford V8 motor. Alright, gotta be nice and gentle. Nice and gentle here. We're making it though. We are vibing. Callaway Sledgehammer, so it doesn't sound like the Super is. Yeah, oh, that's pretty cool though. Like, yeah, the racing cars are different than the, so like the different time period cars as well sound different. That is awesome. And the fact that they got the Callaway Sledgehammer is freaking awesome. Callaway needs more love. Like, most racing games around that time period only really had the C12 at max. Which, granted, beautiful vehicle based off the C5 Vet. But, like, where's the love for, like, the older C7 or the Sledgehammer and all that stuff as well? Like, we need more stuff. Even at the cars lag down. Oh, gosh. Something like the Sledgehammer would probably have a decent amount of lag, being in an older vehicle with mega boost. Rip on the tight tentacle sections. Alright, come on. That is pretty cool then, getting the cars, you know, really close. It's a damn shame that we don't really have Project Gotham Racing anymore as well. Like, so many good racing games kind of died at the end of the turn of the decade. And they really shouldn't have, because there's so much, they had so much, like, just amazing, you know, things going for them that made them each unique. Now it's, Such as Aaron Book, Lingenfelter Performance Engineering. Oh gosh. That is crazy then. That is absolutely crazy. There we go. Down to the gears. Oh, Lingenfelter himself. Damn, okay. Very nice. So that's some serious tuning know-how then. They took a nap. Basically, they created a NASCAR engine and then they slapped some turbo power into it as well. Based. Absolutely based. Dang, that is awesome. So how much power did the sledgehammer end up making? It was what, like 800, I think, right? Somewhere in that range. It's been a while since I've read up on the sledgehammer. The number seems vaguely right. Like 700, 800-ish range. 880, okay. Dang. That is a lot. That is a lot of power. Holy moly. That is a lot of power. 255 miles an hour. Eat your heart out, Bugatti. Granted, the Bugatti did it with, you know, a full-on, like, production car and everything, but still. Damn. Wonder how many were produced. Probably not many. The new 01 can only do 233. Yeah, but this new 01 also has a lot more, like, you know, aero and everything as well. And so it's creating more drag. Only one sledgehammer. Also, the 01's gotta be, like, you know, super reliable for, like, you know, to be a production car as well. So to have a production car, like the 01, being able to do 233, that's still really fucking impressive. Like, if you told me back in the early 2000s that you could buy a Corvette gear limit, okay, fair enough. Still though. Here's two. Well, so it's more than like the arrow is slowing it down because you remove the wing and everything, the giant ass wing. You can probably get a couple more miles an hour out of that with the standard gears. Other alternative is getting a differential with a higher gear ratio to kind of tighten that back up some. Oh, it is without the wing. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, then it is the gears. So 224 with the crazy amount of downforce that wing is probably generating. Like, if you told me, you know, back in 2000, they were like the early 2000s, you could buy a Corvette in just 20 years from the factory and it had over 1,000 horsepower and can do 233 miles an hour. Like, I genuinely would not have believed you. I think it gets shorter. Damn. Alright, well, I'm sure someone eventually will make a custom transmission for that then to see exactly what it could do. That is crazy. Though even with the shorter gear ratios and everything like that, like eventually, like, because you're just, you're getting to a point where like the air becomes essentially like water. Like it just becomes so thick at high speeds that it's very, very, very difficult to get like that extra speed. But still, 233 is absolutely ridiculous. Like, holy moly. That is crazy. And that's, you know, stock from the factory. Well, yeah, because they're kind of designed for normal road usage as well. You use those gears on the highway to get better fuel economy, to keep the revs low and everything, and to prevent droning. But yeah, it does have the long gears. That seems to be a Corvette thing though, because even on the C5, the final gear was a lot longer compared to the earlier gears. So it's not really useful in a racing context. It's basically to, you know, cruise on the highway and save some fuel. But yeah, even then, that's still, you know, that is still very impressive. Like, holy moly. Second place, not bad. Not bad at all. I will take that. Alright. Give me the upgrades. Got it. So even then, like, the upper gears are basically, it's like an Indy car as well. Like, if you're watching an Indy 500, like, they don't really use 6th gear that much unless they're saving fuel in the draft. They mainly use, like, 5th gear for, like, the super speedway packages and everything. Ooh, the Baja Mirage. YOLO, let's do it. Yeah, because, you know, you're still mechanically limited as well. Once you get the higher RPMs and everything, you get the extra vibration, the extra heat. You know, valves begin to float a little bit. There's only so much you can do. Still, like 255 is nothing to sniff at. Like, that is still impressive. But yeah, having the top gears a little bit closer, you could easily get over like 240 probably. Because aerodynamically, especially without the wing, like, you're making more power than things like the McLaren F1 and all that stuff. And I doubt it has that much higher coefficient of drag, so you'd probably be pretty good on that front. Even still, like, dollar per dollar, being able to reach that speed with a production car at that price, that's not bad. Like, that is not bad at all. Like, that is genuinely impressive. Okay, gotta be a little bit careful. Brake just before the double. Ooh, rear wheel drive on desert when desert sand is a little bit spicy. However, we're up against another rear-wheel drive car, so we should be able to win this without too much trouble. Though neither of these vehicles are really designed for desert racing. True, but I mean, even with the dealer markups, like, you were getting essentially, like, roughly Bugatti Veyron performance for a fraction of Bugatti Veyron in cost. But yeah, 500k is still, like, ridiculous markup, like, holy moly. There we go. Not bad. The collision with the fence definitely hurt us a little bit. There we go. More power. I will gladly take more power here. There we go. What are we up against with? What are we up against? Ooh, the Nismo Skyline. Okay, maybe. Let's do the Pacific Challenge. Yeah, you get more power as well. Car already has the ball bearing turbo for the better spool and better response. Larger injectors compared to the S14's blacktop engine, as well as better ECU tuning and a larger intercooler, raising it from around 217 horsepower to 247 horsepower, which is quite a decent evolution, I think. Like that's a pretty big gain for using roughly the same blacktop engine architecture. Airtime! A little bit more airtime, please. Alright. I think we got time enough for 2-ish, maybe 3 more races. Oh yeah. Energy management system, more responsive turbochargers, bigger fuel injectors, and a larger intercooler as well for cooler, denser air to match the increased fuel flow. So that is very nice all around. Both the S14 and the S15 have variable valve timing on the intake side as well. I don't think they have it on the exhaust side. Only the intake side. Did the Venteros made it to 90? Yeah, it was a long runner. It was an absolute long runner. Absolutely crazy as well. It competed even in like Group 5 racing, and despite its older age, you know, the revised Group 5 Pantera with the wide fender flares and aero upgrades wasn't too bad. It was a solid Group 5 racing car. Very solid performance throughout its lifetime. Just crazy how long, you know, a performance vehicle like that went on. I say that, but then you also had things like the Lamborghini Countach, which was, you know, all throughout the 70s and most of the 80s as well, before being finally replaced by the Diablo. So, you know, Italians were like, you know, if it ain't broke, just keep improving on it iteratively. And that's how we get faster. And it made those two vehicles kind of iconic as well. Gosh, I would love to. It'd be kind of fun to own a Pantera as well. Especially since, you know, with the engine being, you know, a 451 engine, parts are probably fairly easy to come by for at least that. Yeah, very about timing on the intake. Okay, only on the intake, not on the exhaust. Right. Still though, very nice. It also went from a 5-speed manual to a 6-speed manual as well, so you get one extra gear. just to help improve, you know, just to help improve the transmission as well. More gears, more, I don't know how to finish that one. But yeah. Got the 6-speed instead of the 5-speed on the S14. With much shorter shifts as well. Which is very, very nice to get the quicker gear changes. Welcome, Little Blaze Gator. Hope you've been well. Right now we're driving our S15. Absolutely tearing up these Californian streets. We're coming on to the final lap. As we are absolutely leaving that Golf R32. Also around 250 horsepower. Well in the dust. It's a 351 Cleveland and 351 Windsor depending on the guy. Yeah, that's why I kind of just shortened it to the 451. Because I know it used both. So depending on what year I would get for the Pantera, it'd be one or the other. But either way, parts of both of them aren't super hard to come by in comparison to like other Italian exotic cars, you know. Like, you got a lot of options. Which also made it kind of a better long-running car as well, because you had so much parts availability for those, so they were, you know, a little bit easier to maintain and everything. A more simplistic Ford V8 compared to the finicky Ferrari and Lamborghini V12s of the time. Probably, you know, helped out a lot. Or the finicky Ferrari Boxer 12s. And more likely the Cleveland. Okay. That I didn't know. I know it used both depending on like the year and everything. I didn't know exactly the time period where they used one or the other. And then the last 2 years with the 302 for the Mustang. Whoa. Okay. That's actually cool. A Mustang Cobra Power Pantera. Absolutely based. So if I were to get a Pantera, I'd rather get the wide body one with the wing and the kind of the more aggressive arrow. I just think that looks a lot cooler. There we go, across the line. Absolutely nice. Beautiful. Only one off track. The handling of the S15 is just absolutely amazing. You know, about 150 kilograms lighter than the S14. Got the stiffer springs, larger anti-roll bars as well. And as well, it has the optional 4-wheel steering. I'm not sure if this one in game has it or not. Be cool if it did. The body was a bit more modernized and rounded. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd want that though. Performance-wise, that'd be cool as hell. But like, outside of that, I'm not sure because I don't know how much I'd want the body to be rounded. Hang on, let me look this up real quick. You know, honestly, that doesn't look that bad. Hang on a second. Let me pull up the display capture. That doesn't look that bad. I was expecting it to look like a lot worse, but it honestly looks like the Venturi. It kind of looks similar to the Venturi 400 a little bit. You kind of see a little bit of that kind of stylized and everything. Especially the wing kind of going kind of further down to the rear flanks. Kind of has a similar styling. Not bad actually. I don't dislike that. I still kind of prefer the 80s Pantera a little bit more, but that's not bad. That's not bad actually. Yeah, it fits the time period, and it doesn't look like it looks like pretty good, you know. Oh, they're going 3 wide in the turn 1. I am also going 3 wide in the turn 1. This ain't gonna go well. Actually, this is working. Palace built by the Quintash design again. Ooh. Probably why it actually looks pretty good at then. Ooh, 3-way Nissan fight for first. With an Audi looking to spoil the fun. Come on, let's get past the heavyweight station wagon though. Oh, dang. Yeah, the guy who just today as well, or just recently, the guy who did the skydive from space, Felix, I forget his last name off the top of my head, but he did it back in 2012. He recently died as well in a paragliding accident. It's crazy. Like I saw that pop up on my newsfeed earlier today, and I was kind of shocked. I remember back in high school, all of us, like, we literally took time out of our day when that happened to watch it, because we were in physics class at the time, and so we took time out of the day to literally watch like the live stream and everything, and it was super cool. Everyone was so hyped. The guy literally broke this. I think he broke the speed of sound with his own body. And lived. Like, that is awesome. Like, dang. Just really impressive stuff. Alright, the Skyline's gonna be a little bit tricky, I think. Does have more power than us. It does have the forward drive, and it does have the advanced aero. So it's a Cleveland for 71 to 87, Windsor 88 to 90, and then the Cobra for the last two. Okay. So you're most likely to get the Clevelands. Alright, there we go, up into the lead. Let's see if we can't keep it. This thing handles like a dream. Went to Thomas Epic Mono. Oh, yes. Like, they're probably, you know, it's cool seeing, like, the crazy high-end, like, exotic vehicle thing. I forget what it's called, but that new one. But I'd love to see, like, them reimagine a Pantera with, like, the Coyote or, like, the Voodoo engine or something like that. Like, that would be cool. Not the Voodoo. Voodoo's kind of old. Voodoo's kind of older. Yeah, Coyote would probably work. Hearing that engine out of the mid-engine, you know, Italian sports car. Hell yes. Nice and smooth through here. No issues whatsoever. I do have the hypercar. That was the reimagining of the prototype. Yeah, that one. That's so cool as well, because it looks both modern and like super like retro as well. Now it does have the supercharged kit. So at least getting an experience with that as well. So there is a chance maybe if that one, like, they make enough money from that hypercar, they could do kind of like a boutique sports car with like the naturally aspirated Coyote. More for like, you know, kind of like the enthusiast drivers and everything. That would be pretty awesome. Here we go, here we go. Down through the gears. Down through the gears, just gotta keep it up. No mistakes, no errors. That's the Roush Supercharged Caddy. Based. So yeah, it'd be cool to see them make like a boutique sports car as well. Nice. And I guess it probably has to be, given it's, you know, it's its own vehicle and everything. It's got its own type designation and like registration type of stuff and all of that. So it needs to be, you know, probably emissions legal most places, but preferably everywhere. And reliable as well. Yep. That's awesome. Alright, come on. Big speed now. There we go. There we go. Nice and smooth. Good agility. No issues. No problems. Let's absolutely send it. And across the line. What a 6.7. Not bad for a road car. Not bad at all for a road car. That's pretty solid time. Based. There we go. Give us the upgrades. Alright, one more race, I think, before we end the stream for the night. So let's do this. Let's do this. One more race. Let's take it to low and searing for the final time. We gotta head up. Alright, take care, Enthusia. You have a great night, alright? Thanks for watching. Anyway, this will be the final race as well, as it is getting late for me as well. But I want to get this upgraded to level 10, that way we know what vehicle we'll be racing next stream. There we go. Full send. Holy moly, this is a beautiful machine as well. Up to 6th gear. Brake just before the 100-meter board. Alright, there we go. Nice, not that much further to go, just gotta keep pushing. I say not that much further to go, we're only a minute into our first lap. And this is a longer lap, but we still carry on. I wanna absolutely shred through the competition in our Sylvia. Holy moly, this is beautiful. Onto the belly of the kitty cats. Brake just before the pea gravel. I could probably carry a lot more speed to that corner. I didn't naturally go all the way out to the end there. Could definitely go a little bit wide. Ooh, gosh. All right, that one did not go the way I wanted it to. That one was a little bit spicy. That one was just a little bit spicy. All right, come on. Not much further, not much further. There we go. Ooh, Nelly. Alright, full send. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Big push now. Final lap. 8 seconds faster that time around compared to the stock Sylvia. A lot more speed. A lot more maneuverability. A lot more grip. This is a car. There we go. Back down. No issues there, no issues. Keep it going. Through the corners. Lay down even more rubber. Get the track rubbered in just a little bit more. There we go. Big pushes. Big pushes. Not that much further for our final race. As we get this thing up to its maximum level. Wonder what the next vehicle will be. It'll be a real sports car for sure. But which one exactly, no one knows yet. Even I don't know. That is the nature of the random number generator. So we got 5 options to choose from. 5 absolutely wonderful options. So we will see. We will see, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Not that much further. Not that much further at all. Oh boy. Alright, a little bit of off-roading. Little bit of off-roading there at the ends. Come on, there's the finish line. Yum! Cross the line. Boom shakalaka. Way ahead of the Integra. Yeah. Way ahead of the Integra. Very nice. There we go. Level it up to level 10. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Getting 420 points as well. Nice. Very nice. Alright, let's change your vehicle and that'll be the end of the stream for the night. So let's go back from the sporty to the real sports cars. Alright, we got 5 to choose from. If it's a 1, it'll be the Ford GT. If it's a 5, it'll be the Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1. So let's pull up the random number generator yet again. And we go. Alright. Not 105. Gosh, no. It is a 5. Oh no. We're driving the 43 horsepower Alston Healy Sprite. Oh man. I mean, it is a cute little car. It is a very tiny, happy car. Oh boy. All right. Let's do it. Oh, chat, we are gonna be cooked. 43 horsepower. 43 horsepower. That's gonna be, that's not a lot. That is not a lot at all. But that'll be our vehicle that we drive for the next stream. So we got that awaiting us. Oh boy. And I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what I'm doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, whatever time of day it is for you, may it be a great time. And I will see you all in the next stream. Till then, take care everybody. Bye bye!